Hi, welcome. Let us discuss about unit number 3, that is electrochemistry of second PUC chemistry. In the main examination question paper, there will be total 8 marks from this chapter and there will be 3 questions from this chapter. Question number 3 which carries 1 mark, question number 12 which carries 2 marks and question number 29 which carries 5 marks. Let us know what is the definition of electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is a branch of chemistry that deals with the production of electrical energy from the energy released during spontaneous chemical reactions and the use of electrical energy to bring about non-spontaneous chemical transformations. Mainly, this electrochemistry deals with the conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy. This conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy takes place by means of a converter known as batteries and fuel cells. Now, let us know the differences between oxidation and reduction processes. Oxidation means loss or removal of electrons. Reduction means gain or addition of electrons. Example of oxidation is solid zinc undergoes oxidation to form Zn2 plus ion with the removal of 2 electrons. Reduction example is copper 2 plus ion gains 2 electrons to become a solid copper. Oxidation takes place at anode but reduction takes place at cathode, and hence redox reaction involves simultaneous occurrence of both oxidation and reduction. Example of redox reaction is the reaction between zinc and copper. A solid zinc reacts with aqueous copper 2 plus ion to form aqueous zinc 2 plus ion and a solid copper. Okay, loss of electrons means oxidation, which can be abbreviated as LEO. Gain of electrons means reduction, which is abbreviated as GER. Now let us know the definition of electrode and the types of electrodes. Electrode is a metal rod dipped in its own ions. There are two types of electrodes, anode and cathode. At anode, oxidation takes place, but at cathode, reduction takes place. Anode carries a positive charge, but cathode carries a negative charge. Anion moves towards anode, but cation moves towards cathode. Okay, let us know the definition of single electrode potential. Single electrode potential, denoted by capital E, it is a potential developed on a metal when it is in equilibrium with its own ions. But standard electrode potential, that is E0, it is a potential developed on a metal when it is in equilibrium with its own ions in 1 molar solution at 298 degree Kelvin. A cell potential is the potential difference between two electrodes and is measured in volts. Electromotive force, that is EMF, is the potential when no current is drawn through the cell. E cell can be calculated as the difference between electrode potential of right hand electrode, that is cathode, minus the electrode potential of left hand electrode, that is anode. Let us know the definition of electrochemical cells and the types of electrochemical cells. Electrochemical cells are the cells which involve interconversion of chemical energy and electrical energy. There are two types of electrochemical cells. First type of electrochemical cells are galvanic or voltaic cells. Second type of electrochemical cells are electrolytic cells. The galvanic or voltaic cells are the electrochemical cells which involve conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy. Examples of galvanic or voltaic cells are Daniell cell, Dry or Lagrange cell. A representation of a galvanic cell. While representing a galvanic cell, anode should be written first, followed by cathode. Anode is represented as capital M1 single vertical line, M1 to the power n plus, double vertical line, capital M2 single vertical line, capital M2 to the power n plus. Here single vertical line shows a phase separation between metal and metal ion, but double vertical line shows the presence of salt bridge. Now let us discuss about the construction and working principle of Daniell cell. A Daniell cell is a electrochemical cell which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. This Daniell cell contains two electrodes. One is anode, which is a zinc, and another one is cathode, which is a copper. Anode, that is zinc, is placed in a solution containing zinc sulfide, and copper is placed in a solution containing copper sulfide. These two electrolytic solutions are internally connected by a salt bridge, and these two electrodes are externally connected by a metallic wire. At anode, oxidation takes place. That means zinc undergoes oxidation to form Zn2 plus ion and with the loss of 2 electrons. But at cathode, there occurs reduction. That means copper 2 plus ion gains 2 electrons to become a copper metal. Overall cell reaction is zinc reacts with copper 2 plus ion to form Zn2 plus ion and a copper metal. The electrical potential of Daniell cell is 1.1 volt. Now let us discuss about the construction and working principle of standard hydrogen electrode, that is She. This electrode contains a platinum electrode dipped in 1 molar HCl solution, and there is a copper wire for connecting to the external circuit. When we pass a pure and dry H2 gas at 1 bar pressure, adsorption of H2 gas on platinum takes place, which is in contact with H plus ions. The electrode reaction is H plus gains 1 electron to become half H2, which is a gas. This She can be represented by a notation, that is platinum solid single vertical line, H2 gas 1 bar pressure single vertical line, H plus aqueous 1 molar. The electrode potential of She is 0. Let us know the definition of inert electrodes. Inert electrodes are the electrodes which do not participate in the reaction but they provide their surface for oxidation or reduction reactions and for the conduction of electrons. Examples are platinum and gold. Now let us know the importance of standard reduction potentials, that is SRP values. These SRP values are used to select the oxidizing or reducing agent. Higher the SRP value, greater is the oxidizing ability and lesser is the reducing ability. SRP value is directly proportional to oxidizing ability and inversely proportional to reducing ability. F2 is the strongest oxidizing agent, F minus is the weakest reducing agent. But lithium metal is the strongest reducing agent and lithium plus ion is the weakest oxidizing agent. Let us know about Nernst equation. Nernst equation is mathematically expressed as E, that is electrode potential, is equal to standard electrode potential minus RT divided by NF ln 1 over concentration of metal ion, where R is gas constant, that is 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. F is Faraday constant, whose value is 96,487 coulomb per mole. T is temperature in Kelvin and concentration of metal ion is Mn plus. Okay, for Daniell cell, Nernst equation can be written as follows. As we already know, cell reaction involved in Daniell cell is Zn plus copper 2 plus gives Zn2 plus copper. E cell is equal to E naught cell minus RT divided by 2F ln concentration of Zn2 plus ion divided by concentration of copper 2 plus ion. This can be written as E naught cell minus 0.059 divided by 2 log of concentration of Zn2 plus ion divided by concentration of copper 2 plus ion. From Nernst equation, equilibrium constant, that is Kc, can be calculated by using the following equation, that is E naught cell is equal to 2.303 RT divided by NF log Kc, or E naught cell is equal to 0.0591 divided by N log of Kc. Let us know the relationship between electrode potential and Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy, that is delta G naught is equal to minus NF E naught cell, where delta G naught is standard Gibbs free energy change, N is number of electrons, capital F is 96,500 coulomb, E naught cell is the standard electrode potential. Now let us know the relationship between electrode potential and equilibrium constant, that is K. Delta G naught is equal to minus RT ln K, which is equal to minus 2.303 RT log of K, where delta G naught is standard Gibbs free energy change and capital K is equilibrium constant. Let us know how materials have been classified based on their ability to conduct electricity. There are mainly 4 types: conductors, insulators, semiconductors, superconductors. Conductors are the materials which carry electricity. Examples are metals, alloys. Insulators are the materials which do not carry electricity. Examples of insulators are glass, ceramics. Semiconductors are the materials which have conductivity values between conductors and insulators. Examples are silicon, germanium. Superconductors are the materials which have zero resistivity or infinite conductivity. Now let us know the differences between electronic and electrolytic conductors. Electronic or metallic conductor. Here conductivity is due to the movement of electrons, but in case of electrolytic conductor, conductivity is due to the movement of ions. Electronic conductors conduct electricity in solid state. Electrolytic conductors conduct electricity in fused or solution state. In case of electronic conductor, there will be no chemical change. In case of electrolytic conductor, there is a chemical change. Let us know the factors affecting electronic conductance. The nature and structure of the metal, the number of valence electrons per atom, temperature, the nature of the electrolyte, the nature of the solvent and its viscosity, concentration of the electrolyte. Let us know the definition of conductance, which is represented by capital G. Conductance of a material is allowance to the flow of electrons, or conductance is the reciprocal of resistance, that is capital G is equal to 1 divided by R, where R is resistance. SI unit of conductance is per ohm, or mho, or Simon. Note, G is equal to 1 divided by R, which is equal to capital A divided by rho into L, which is equal to kappa into A divided by L. Let us know the meaning of resistance. Resistance of a material is the opposition to the flow of electrons, or it is a reciprocal of conductance, that is R is directly proportional to L divided by A, or R is equal to rho into L divided by A. SI unit of resistance is ohm, or per Simon. In this mathematical expression for resistance, L is length of a material, capital A is the area of cross section, rho is resistivity or specific resistance. Let us know the meaning of resistivity or specific resistance. It is the resistance of a material when it is 1 meter long and its area of cross section is 1 meter square. It is represented by a mathematical formula, rho, that is resistivity, is equal to R into A divided by L. SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Let us know the definition of specific conductance or conductivity, which is represented by K, that is kappa. Specific conductance is a reciprocal of specific resistance or resistivity. Specific conductance is also defined as the conductivity of a material when it is 1 meter long and its area of cross section is 1 meter square. The specific conductance is given by expression, it is kappa is equal to L divided by A into rho. SI unit of specific conductance is per ohm per meter or Simon per meter. Let us know what do you mean by cell constant, that is G star. It is given by expression G star is equal to L divided by A, and SI unit of cell constant is per meter. The cell constant depends on the distance between the electrodes and their area of cross section. Let us know the meaning of molar conductivity, that is delta M. Molar conductivity is the conductance of 1 molar electrolytic solution, given by expression delta M is equal to kappa divided by C is equal to kappa into V, because C is inversely proportional to V. C is concentration of solution, V is volume of the solution. SI unit of molar conductivity is Simon meter square per mole. Let us discuss about variation of conductivity with concentration. Conductivity decreases with decrease in concentration because the number of ions per unit volume that carry the current in a solution decreases. That is, conductivity is directly proportional to concentration. But conductivity decreases with increase in dilution because on dilution the number of ions per unit volume that carry the current in a solution decreases. That is, conductivity is inversely proportional to dilution. Let us know the variation of molar conductivity with concentration. Molar conductivity is inversely proportional to concentration but directly proportional to dilution because the total number of ions per mole of an electrolytic solution decreases with decrease in concentration. Molar conductivity increases with increase in dilution because the dissociation of electrolyte increases, and hence the total number of ions per mole of an electrolytic solution also increases with increase in dilution. Let us know the meaning of limiting molar conductivity, that is delta M naught. Limiting molar conductivity is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution, or it is the conductance when the concentration approaches 0. That is, delta M is equal to delta M naught minus A into square root of C, where delta M is molar conductance at any concentration, delta M naught is molar conductance at infinite dilution, capital A is constant which depends on the type of electrolyte, that is the charges on the cation and anion. C is the concentration of the solution. Note, when concentration approaches 0, molar conductivity becomes equal to limiting molar conductivity. This is a plot of limiting molar conductivity versus square root of C, that is concentration. For strong electrolytes like KCl, intercept is nothing but limiting molar conductivity. But for weak electrolytes, limiting molar conductivity cannot be obtained by the extrapolation, but can be obtained by Kohlrausch law. Okay, now let us know about Kohlrausch law. It is stated as the molar conductance of an electrolyte at infinite dilution is equal to the sum of ionic conductances of anion and cation. That is, delta m naught is equal to nu plus lambda plus naught plus nu minus lambda minus naught, where lambda plus naught and lambda minus naught are the limiting molar conductivity values of the cation and anion. Nu plus and nu minus are the number of cation and anions. Now let us know the applications of Kohlrausch law. It is used to calculate molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. It is used to calculate degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte, and it is also used to calculate dissociation constant of weak electrolyte. Degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte can be calculated by using the formula alpha is equal to lambda m divided by lambda m naught. Dissociation constant, that is Ka of weak electrolyte, can be calculated using the formula Ka is equal to C into lambda m square divided by lambda m naught into lambda m naught minus lambda m. Let us know the definition of electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell is a type of electrochemical cell which converts electrical energy into chemical energy. Example is 2 copper electrodes dipped in copper sulfate solution. Then, what is the meaning of electrolysis? Electrolysis is the decomposition of an electrolyte by passing electricity. Let us know the statements of Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Faraday's first law states that the amount of substance deposited or liberated at any electrode during electrolytic process is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through the electrolyte. That is, W is directly proportional to Q. W is also directly proportional to capital I into T. That is, W is equal to ZIT because Q is equal to IT, where small w is the mass of substance deposited or liberated, Q is the quantity of electricity passed in coulomb, I is the current in amperes, T is time in seconds, Z is the electrochemical equivalent. Let us know the meaning of electrochemical equivalent. It is ECE represented by capital Z. It is the mass of a substance deposited when 1 ampere of current is passed through the electrolyte for 1 second. That is, Z becomes equal to W when I becomes equal to 1 ampere and time becomes equal to 1 second. Let us know the meaning of Faraday. Faraday is the charge of 1 mole of electron. As we already know, 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulomb per mole. The charge on 1 mole, 1 electron is equal to 1.6021 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Therefore, the charge on 1 mole of electrons is equal to Avogadro number into 1.6021 into 10 to the power minus 19, that is equal to 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 per mole into 1.6021 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, which is equal to 96,487 coulomb per mole, which is the charge on 1 mole of electron. To reduce 1 mole of silver, copper and aluminium, we need 1, 2 and 3 electrons respectively. To reduce 1 mole of silver plus ions, we need 1 electron. Hence, it needs 1 farad of electricity to reduce. To reduce copper 2 plus ion, we need 2 electrons. Hence, it requires 2 farad of electricity to reduce the copper 2 plus ion. But aluminium 3 plus ion requires 3 electrons to undergo reduction. Hence, it needs 3 farad of electricity to undergo reduction. Let us know the statement of Faraday's second law of electrolysis. When the same amount of electricity is passed through different electrolytic solutions, the masses of the substances deposited or liberated at the electrodes are directly proportional to their chemical equivalent weights, where chemical equivalent weight is equal to atomic mass of the metal divided by number of electrons required to reduce the cation. Let us know what are the factors affecting the products of electrolysis. One is nature of electrolyte, second one is type of electrode used, third one is concentration of the electrolyte, fourth one is standard electrode potentials, and fifth one is over voltage. Let us know the products of electrolysis of molten NaCl. It gives chlorine gas at anode and sodium metal at cathode. But electrolysis of aqueous NaCl gives chlorine gas at anode and hydrogen gas at cathode. Let us know the meaning of over voltage or potential. Over voltage is the minimum excess potential over the standard electrode potential required to discharge an ion. Okay, now let us discuss about battery. Battery is a galvanic cell which converts chemical energy of the redox reaction into electrical energy. There are two types of batteries, primary battery and secondary battery. Primary battery is a battery which can't be recharged. Example is dry cell. But secondary battery is a battery which can be recharged or reused. Example is nickel cadmium cell. Let us discuss about dry or Leclanché cell. It contains two electrodes, that is anode and cathode. Anode is zinc, cathode is graphite rod containing manganese dioxide and carbon. Electrolyte used in dry cell is a mixture of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. The electrode reactions that take place in dry cell are: at anode there will be oxidation, that means zinc which is solid undergoes oxidation to form Zn2 plus ion with the loss of 2 electrons. At cathode there will be reduction, manganese dioxide and NH4 plus ions accept 1 electron to become manganic hydroxide with the formation of ammonia. The cell potential of dry cell is 1.5 volt. The dry cell is used in transistors and clocks. Let us know the construction and working principle of lead storage battery. It contains two electrodes, anode which is a lead and cathode which is a mixture of lead and lead oxide. Electrolyte used in lead storage battery is 38% H2SO4. The electrode reactions, that is discharging reactions that occur in lead storage battery are: at anode there occurs oxidation, that means lead combines with sulfate 2 minus ions to form lead sulfate with the liberation of 2 electrons. But at cathode, lead dioxide reacts with sulfate anion and 4 protons and gains 2 electrons, which forms lead sulfate and water. Overall cell reaction is lead reacts with lead oxide and also H2SO4 gives lead sulfate along with the formation of water. But during recharging, above reactions get reversed. Application of lead storage battery is it is used in automobiles and inverters. Let us know the definitions of fuel cells. Fuel cells are the galvanic cells which convert the energy of combustion of fuels like hydrogen, methane, and methanol directly into electrical energy. Examples of fuel cells are hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, which is used in Apollo space research. Let us know how fuel cells produce electricity. The production of electricity takes place in two steps. In the first step, use of heat of combustion of fossil fuels for converting water into high pressure steam. Second step involves use of steam to run a turbine to produce electricity. Let us know the construction and working principle of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. This fuel cell produces an electricity by the combustion of hydrogen fuel. It contains two electrodes, an anode at which hydrogen gas is passed and a cathode at which oxygen gas is passed. The electrodes used are porous carbons and electrolyte used is concentrated aqueous NaOH or KOH. The catalyst used is finely divided platinum or palladium. The electrode reactions in hydrogen oxygen fuel cells are at anode there will be oxidation, that means hydrogen gas combines with hydroxyl ions to form water with the liberation of 4 electrons. At cathode, oxygen reacts with water and gains 4 electrons to form 4 hydroxyl anions. And overall cell reaction is 2H2 combines with O2 gives 2H2O. Let us know what we mean by corrosion. Corrosion is the destruction of a metal due to its reaction with air or water. Examples of corrosion are rusting of iron, tarnishing of silver, growth of green coating on copper. Corrosion is an electrochemical phenomena due to the transfer of electrons. And rust is hydrated ferric oxide. The formula or chemical composition of rust is Fe2O3 XH2O. Let us know about electrochemical theory of corrosion of iron. Iron reacts with air, that is O2, and moisture to form a rust. This rusting involves two types of reactions, oxidation and reduction. At anode, that is iron, there will be oxidation reaction, that means iron undergoes oxidation to form Fe2 plus anion with the liberation of electrons. At cathode, oxygen reacts with H plus ions and gains 4 electrons to form a water. Overall cell reaction involves the formation of a rust, that is Fe2O3 XH2O. Let us know about how to prevent a corrosion process. There are mainly three methods: barrier protection, sacrificial protection, and electrical protection. In case of barrier protection, Corrosion can be prevented by placing a barrier between iron and air, that is, coating the metal surface with a paint or a chemical, that is bisphenol. In case of sacrificial protection, corrosion is prevented by covering the iron with a layer of more active metals like zinc, which is known as galvanizing process, or tin, which get corroded to save the iron. In case of electrical protection, corrosion can be prevented by connecting iron with more active metals like magnesium, which corrodes. Thank you.